It was another big day of hockey, and both the Griffins and Dylan Larkin with Team USA were in action. For Grand Rapids, Michael Branzig-Nygaard and Amadeus Lombardi both scored in a 2-1 win, while Dylan Larkin scored his second goal of the Olympics, and Team USA rode a 6-2 win over Slovakia into the gold medal game against Canada. Just a year later, it's a repeat of the Four Nations final, and this is a game that could set records in the hockey world. Larkin is going to have an Olympic medal to add to his trophy case. There's just one question left. Will he be coming back to Detroit with silver or with gold? This is your 7-Minute Wings. Welcome back to the Red Wings Report with Strings and Pucks. This is Jeremy Laura. Please click that like button and subscribe. Hit the notification bell and send this out. Head over to hockeyhotstove.com where I write the Red Wings column. You can read my latest write-up as well as news and information on the other teams in the league. The Olympics are closing out. There's been some really good coverage from some really good writers over there. The Griffins grabbed their 39th win of the season with a 2-1 overtime win over the Chicago Wolves. You can see the compilation playing. Michael Branzig-Nygaard had the kind of game you want to see from him. He was engaged and physical with lots of energy. He opened the scoring, and you can see in the sequence where he's banging his stick on the ice and asking for the puck. He makes a nice play in tight to get Grand Rapids on the board. This is where you want to see him at on the ice. MBN can be a great net front presence when he's playing physical and with high energy. I'd included a shot of a hit he made in the offensive zone. He followed that up with a play that kept the puck active in the zone. Amadeus Lombardi had the game winner in overtime. Lombardi looked like he was attempting a pass and ended up scoring. This is the second time he's scored like that in the past week or so. Lombardi's a tremendous player, and you hope to see him think shoot first a little bit more. He uses his skating to create opportunities and can hold on to the puck well. Really good to see these two prospects clicking. MBN is laying the groundwork for a strong year next season. Lombardi, if he can stay healthy, I honestly believe he can crack the bottom six in Detroit. The playoffs in the AHL will be a lot of fun to watch this year, and Grand Rapids could see the addition of players who come over after their seasons are done. Anton Johansson out of Sweden and Carter Bear have both already signed their entry-level deals. Bear currently has 57 points, 27 goals in 41 games. I'd love to see him play for Grand Rapids after the season is finished. But on to the lead. Team USA beats Slovakia 6-2 and Canada beats Finland 3-2 as the medal round is seeded. Larkin had his second goal of the tournament with an assist from Zach Werenski. That's a combination a lot of fans would love to see happen in the NHL. If Columbus ever considers moving Werenski, that's a player you'd consider giving a lot of assets for. Larkin played just over 15 minutes and had 4 shots on net for this one, and now Larkin is guaranteed to leave the Olympics with a medal. Last year's matchup of the U.S. versus Canada set records. This game has an opportunity to eclipse that. If you follow broadcast numbers and all that information, be watching as they're going to be following this really closely to see if they can set a new record. This matchup is a dream come true for the IOC, the IIHF, and the NHL. These are NHL all-star rosters, and it should be a really high level of hockey. The NHL will be hoping for a post-Olympic bump after this one. Last year, there was a bump in viewership after the Four Nations. If you remember, the Red Wings and the Blue Jackets had an outdoor game that actually outdrew the Winter Classic last year. They ended up drawing, I believe, 1.2 million, and the Winter Classic actually drew less than 1 million. People are engaged watching these two teams, and if they can get the hype to the level it was at last year, this game's on a Sunday. You don't have to worry about the time zone as much because of when and where it's at. This really should draw the attention of even more casual fans, especially after the U.S. women won the gold medal against Canada. You're looking at kind of a rematch in a sense, where this is another game that could be tight. This game could even go to overtime, and the tempers are going to flare. The U.S. and Canada, if you remember the Four Nations, there were fights breaking out everywhere. Kachuk brothers are going to be engaged in this one. This could be a really, really physical affair. And honestly, I truly believe this is the dream scenario. I talked about this even months ago, that if they could repeat the seeding of what we saw at the Four Nations of the US and Canada, this would be something that would be a dream come true for the Olympics, as they're trying to get more viewership, more eyeballs onto these games. This is the exact type of tournament that could do it, especially after the U.S. women's surprise defeat of Canada. I'm going to go ahead and give my predictions on this one. In the end, I think Canada takes the gold in this one. I'd love to be wrong. At the end of the day, you've got two undefeated teams going at it, and I feel like Canada has the edge. However, if I'm wrong, I will find a way to make amends. It'll be something guitar related through the channel. I'll talk about that more. If Team USA manages to turn the tables and grab a win, I'll do something to say a mea culpa, to say I'm sorry for getting this wrong. But at this point, I honestly believe it's going to be Canada over the US for gold at the end of this one. I think Finland will take the bronze against Slovakia. I don't think that game's going to be nearly as close as this one. But I think Dylan Larkin will return to the States with a silver medal, plenty to be proud of. This is a huge opportunity for the NHL players who fought hard to be able to play in the Olympics. And I think the reduced ice surface has done a lot to speed the game up. And again, this is a scenario where you're going to have more than just hockey fans watching. So I think they got done what they wanted to achieve in this. And at the end of the day, I think Canada takes the gold, US grabs silver, and Finland will take home the bronze. I'd love to hear your predictions. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This was your 7 Minute Wings.